they're not loyal to countries. They're loyal to their fortunes. It's not an accident that Thiel and Musk are South Africans and who
Thusk.
yeah, who enrich themselves through a system of apartheid, and seek to recreate that and to punish. Part of U.S. aid, 1% of the budget, right? Uh, the best money America has spent to prevent war, to prevent the spread of disease, to create strategic alliances that stop soldiers from being in the line of fire, right? To stop coffins coming back draped with flags. It is the best money America spends. And yet the media cannot cover it except to take seriously this, them pumping into the airwaves through their media consolidation out of context numbers, right? This coming from an administration where the president never released his tax returns, and where Elon Musk's fortune, vast fortune, approaching $1 trillion, comes from contracts with the American government. That he is the epitome of a welfare queen.
He is the welfare
Yeah.
queen. That's what
So
I'm calling him.
this is what I mean. Contextless information, or treating information that distracts from telling the story, is what is the fundamental failure of media right now. And unfortunately, now I recently interviewed Eric Deggans, who is like the media critic for NPR, and he's been in that role for decades. And I actually interviewed him on Inauguration Day, and he'd gotten into a little bit of hot water with influencers on social media who felt as though he was dismissive of them. I think the point he was trying to make was, are we going from the frying pan into the fire? Yes, the institutions of media are weak, and the funding mechanism for them is not improving. But are we now turning ourselves completely over to people who have no editors, no accountability, but they have big followings? And and I understand his point, but I think it's why more and more people are turning to independent journalism. One of the things he said, it'll be interesting to watch what happens to Jim Acosta on CNN, somebody who's been a real truth teller about Donald Trump. And, if he said, if ABC moves him to midnight, that'll be a clear sign. Or wait, is it CNN? Moves him to midnight, that'll be a clear sign that they've capitulated. Well, of course, they moved him to midnight, and he's now left, and he started, as many good journalists have done, their own media outlet. And so I think increasingly, we're turning to ProPublica, we're turning to Popular Information, we're turning to others, to provide context and insight on what's happening, because mainstream media that has been the target of relentless, battering, that has exploited all of their weaknesses, is now in shambles. And now they're going after the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, they're going after NPR, they're going after all of the institutions that might be truth tellers, to compel them into submission. And so it is a very dangerous time, and it becomes all the more important that people, support these independent journalists that bring you both investigative journalism, but also commentary that provides a context to understand what's happening. And don't play whack-a-mole. Don't, sip responsibly from the information from social media streams, because their intention is to beat you down to a place where you just stop caring.